to the session. Some years after Mahapadmananda, a young man called Chandragupta Maurya became the king of Magadha. He started the Maurya Dynasty. A dynasty is a family whose members become the rulers one after the other. Chandragupta's son Bindusara and grandson Ashoka ruled over the Mauryan kingdom and extended it to include most of the Indian subcontinent. The kingdom extended from modern Afghanistan to Karnataka in the south and Bengal in the east. Let us understand the topic of First Empire from Class 6 Social Studies. Learning outcomes. You will be able to understand about the Mauryan Dynasty and Ashoka as a unique ruler. Understand Ashoka's Dhamma and what he did for his people. Keywords: empire, large kingdoms, kingdom, a territory ruled by the king. Arthashastra. The Arthashastra is an Indian treatise on politics, economics, military strategy, etc., written by Kautilya or Chanakya. Dhamma. The Sanskrit word dharma means the law of nature or the truth. Spies. A spy is a person whose job is to find out secret information about another person, country, or organization. Yajnas. It refers to any ritual done in front of a sacred fire, often with mantras. A monastery. A building or group of buildings in which monks lie and worship. Subcontinent. A large landmass smaller than a continent. Check the concept map. Mauryan Empire. Large kingdoms are called empires and their kings are called emperors. Chandragupta Maurya was among the earliest emperors of the Indian subcontinent. In the beginning, the Magadha kingdom was confined to Magadha and nearby areas. But later included all the Mahajanapadas of those times. The empire was so vast and the different kinds of people lived in it. Some of these areas, like the Ganges Valley, the Krishna River Valley, Malwa, Gujarat, and Punjab, were very fertile and had densely settled villages and towns. Some other areas were important for trade and crafts through them passed important routes which connected large cities, seaports, and other countries. Some regions were important for the mining of precious metals like gold and gemstones. The Mauryan emperors were able to get resources and taxes from all these different kinds of places and people. How did the emperors rule such a vast empire? The Mauryans ruled different parts of the empire differently. The area around Pataliputra was under the direct control of the emperor. He appointed officials to collect taxes from the people and punished those who disobeyed the royal orders. Some spies collected information on what was going on and how the officers were working and reported to the emperor. The emperor issued orders which were carried by messengers to the officials. The emperor supervised them with the help of ministers and members of the royal family. There were other areas or provinces which were ruled from provincial capitals like Takshashila, Ujjain, or Suvarnagiri. These were ruled by royal princes who were sent as governors. They could make decisions about their provinces and probably had their own officials and armies to help them. The emperor would also send instructions to them through messengers. The governors also took the help of important families of the region who knew the customs and rules followed in the province. Between these provinces, there were vast areas which were forested or did not have many villages or cities. But these areas were important as they had the roads on which traders, armies, and messengers had to travel. The Mauryans made special arrangements to control them. Through these roads, the Mauryans reached areas like Suvarnagiri, where gold mines were situated, or Takshashila, from where they could get goods from other countries. They collected taxes and tributes from these areas, also in the form of hides, wild animals, precious stones, gold, etc. The forest tribes were allowed to live without much interference. Ashoka, a unique ruler, the most famous Mauryan ruler was Ashoka. He was the first ruler who tried to take his message to the people through inscriptions. Most of Ashoka's inscriptions were in the Prakrit language and were written in the Brahmi script. Ashoka's war in Kalinga. Kalinga is the ancient name of coastal Odisha. Ashoka fought a war to conquer Kalinga. However, he was so horrified when he saw the violence and the bloodshed that he decided not to fight any more wars. He is the king in the history of the world who gave up conquest after winning the war. What was Ashoka's Dhamma? Ashoka's Dhamma did not involve the worship of a god or the performance of sacrifice. He felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he must instruct his subjects. He was also inspired by the teachings of Buddha. Several problems troubled him. People in the empire followed different religions, and this sometimes led to conflict. Animals were sacrificed. Slaves and servants were ill-treated. Besides, there were quarrels in families and amongst neighbors. Ashoka felt it was his duty to solve these problems. So, he appointed officials known as Dhamma Mahamatra, who went from place to place teaching people about Dhamma. Besides, Ashoka got his message inscribed on rocks and pillars, instructing his officials to read them to those who were illiterate. Ashoka also sent messengers to spread ideas about Dhamma to other lands such as Syria, Egypt, Greece, and Sri Lanka. He built roads, dug wells, and built rest houses. Besides, he arranged for medical treatment for both human beings and animals. Kingdoms and empires in the Deccan. Around the time, the Mauryans conquered the Deccan from the Godavari River to the Krishna-Tungabhadra river valleys. Large parts of the region had developed village settlements and small towns in which iron tools and other items were made and sold. In some areas, they also mined gold and made ornaments. However, most of the other areas must have been forests with hunter-gatherers and herders living in small settlements. Probably each of these areas is inhabited mainly by a group of people closely related to each other through birth and marriage. Such groups are called clans. Some important persons among these clans may have emerged as powerful headmen who led them and settled their internal disputes. They gradually grew wealthy and powerful and ruled the clan area. Do you know the national emblem is a symbol of authority of a nation? This was officially adopted as a national emblem on 26 January 1950. In the emblem, 3 lions are visible. The 4th lion is hidden from view. The 4 lions represent 4 qualities of power, courage, confidence, and pride. The wheel appears in relief in the center of an abacus with the following: an elephant on the east, a bull on the west, a horse on the south, and the lion on the north. The elephant represents strength. The bull represents hard work. The horse represents loyalty, speed, and energy. And the lion represents bravery. Satyame Vijayate. Truth alone triumphs is inscribed below the abacus. This is an extract from Mundaka Upanishad. So in this video, you've seen how the Maurya Dynasty, started by Chandragupta, expanded into a vast empire across the Indian subcontinent, and Ashoka's unique contributions in promoting non-violence and social welfare through his concept of Dhamma. Thank you for watching.